Well, this is awkward. So, originally the video this month was going to be about Friday Night Funkin mods in general, and I was going to talk about 5 of them. Witty, Tricky, Hypno, Sonic EXE, and of course Indie Cross. I started recording for each of them, and I played the Witty mod first. It was actually pretty alright. It had the same spirit as the original game, and it's not super duper omega challenging with annoying gimmicks, along with some pretty vibrant visuals. Overall, I would probably give it like a B, like a 6 out of 10. It's fine. But then, as I played the next few mods, I came to a realization I was hoping wasn't true. Yeah, these 3 other mods are complete ass. They sound awful, they play awful, they all have annoying gimmicks that aren't explained at all and aren't fun to play around, and none of them have the same aesthetic or vibe as the original game. Tricky was abysmal, with a terrible voice for the main man himself, a shaky gimmick that doesn't make me as mad as it should have because the charting was actually okay. Hypno's Lullaby, with only a few exceptions, was either boring to play, listen to, and or watch. I feel like me saying that the Versus Sonic EXE mod was the highest quality among these 3 should really say about the level of quality we're dealing with. Sonic EXE had at least a few interesting ideas, as well as more than 2 good songs, but still, there's no soul in it, no passion. With earlier versions of these mods, yeah, they weren't super amazing, but you could feel the passion. In the state they released, and it's hard to say the creators really cared. With all that being said, I was very worried that Indie Cross, like the other beloved mods, were gonna age like warm milk. So when I finally booted up, realized I had the wrong version, downloaded the right one, and then booted it up again, and was greeted by the opening song, I knew immediately this one was different.
Getting freaky on a Friday night, yeah.
Indie Cross was made a long while after Friday Night Funkin was first put on Newgrounds. In fact, the earliest version of Indie Cross that came out, the demo build, was over a year after the game's initial release on Newgrounds. Even then, people saw a huge amount of potential with this mod, with big names like Moro, the lead producer, and dozens of beloved composers, Mike Gino, DA Games, BB Pantsu, Rosebud, working on this project. This mod was set to be huge, and we were promised the full 1.0 version would come out with 3 different sets of weeks, bonus songs, and a bunch of other stuff on top of that. So, we waited, and waited, and waited, until nearly 6 months had passed. It was finally dropped on April 8th, 2022, as well as a demo version being available on Game Banana. Almost immediately upon loading it, you could see the huge leap in quality compared to any other mod, with custom menus, achievements, and much more accessible options like the ability to turn off gimmicks. So without further ado, let's jump into the first week with Cuphead.
Now, if I were a crazy portal opening, where would I be?
It's got voice
Well, it's no
acting?
portal, but looks like I found the screw loose. Hey, Buster, you got a lot of nerve messing with our land. What say we settle this here and now?
This match
True.
is red hot.
Oh shit.
You're up.
The first song, Snake Eyes, is a wonderful introduction. Composed by Mike Geno, who is known for working on the Mid-Fight Masses mod, and before that composing some beloved Undertale remixes. This song is a much higher level of quality than most other mods at their peak. The animations for Cuphead are wonderfully expressive, the song itself sounds great, and I love the old film reel overlay, it fits perfectly with Cuphead's aesthetic. There's not much really to say more than that, it's just kinda nice. Okay. I see you, Mike. I got you. Kinda in it. Alright. That was a much higher bar of quality from just the
Oh,
first
blast!
song.
This is gonna be tougher than I thought. Looks like I'm gonna have to double down. Hey, do you need any help, Cuphead? Nah, I got this, bro. Go see if you can find Miss Chalice Lady for us, yeah?
You got it, but please, Cuphead, no more violence.
I'll be back before you even know it. Hopefully not too soon. He doesn't do well with damage. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, let's double down.
Alright. Oh. Wait, there's a tutorial? Oh shit, okay.
A brawl is surely brewing. And
The next song, Technicolor Tussle, composed by BLV Carrot, another well-respected music artist who makes assorted remixes, is, for my money, a bit worse than Snake Eyes. Sonically, anyway. That's not to take away from it, it's still miles above most other mods, but I feel like it's just not as good as it could be. The main reason for this is, for me at least, it kinda just feels aimless, with no real quote-unquote chorus, which sounds weird to say about a song filled with only beeps and boops, but listening to all the songs back-to-back makes it pretty noticeable, as something is clearly off with this one. Again, not to take away from the song, it sounds great, but it just feels like it could have been a little bit better with a little bit more time in the oven. That was pretty good. I'm liking where this is going. This is already like such a huge jump in quality compared to everything else I've already played today. Oh. Yeah, smack him. Jesus.
Not to this! What did my brother say? Now remember, bro, no more violence! Unless it's a boy with a red cap, blue hair, white shirt, then go freaking wild. Oh yeah, good old reliable mug man.
Alright,
kid,
it's about to
you
get
asked for
jokes.
this. Time to go full triple down on your ass!
The ghouls are out tonight.
now go!
The final song in this week, Knockout, is composed by RNG Music, known for remixing other FNF songs, Deltarune, and a few original tracks, along with some other stuff. It's probably on the same level of quality as Snake Eyes. The changes in the visuals are also pretty good, with the Raging Storm almost mimicking Cuphead's... Cuphead? The change in visuals is also amazing, with the Raging Storm almost mimicking Cuphead's rising anger. It's great stuff. One thing this mod does consistently well is constantly switch things up without it feeling too jarring or forced. Even if you skip the cutscenes, the songs feel like natural progressions of each other. Even in this first week with Cuphead, you go from pretty upbeat and cheerful to a bit more intense but still pretty high energy, then to this, where the intensity takes over and the battle part of Rap Battle becomes much more pronounced. After finally beating the song and watching the last cutscene, we move on to the next week. Oh! Okay, we're not done. Okay. Maybe not that long. It's true. For some reason. 5 minutes. Just... Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, they instantly kill you? I don't like the sound of that. I hate this game. Okay. Alright. Like how that's how I'm starting off. The first song, Whoopee, is not what you would call typical. With an instrumental composed by Ying Yang 48, who previously worked on the Versus Hex mod, which, and I mean, it's okay. And the vocals done by Saster, a prominent composer in the FNF community. It starts out much more intense than the Cuphead week before quickly? It starts out much more intense than the Cuphead week before quickly dropping down to this very slow, calm melody that is much more a joy to play than it is to listen to. Again, not to say any of these songs are bad, but this one especially feels like a roller coaster of tonal shifts. Then again, it was probably meant to be like that. I still feel like it could have been a little bit less wild with its tonal shifts, considering it tries to build intensity at least 3 times throughout the song, and each time it just goes right back down to nothing. It's still whatever. Okay. Alright. That kind of scared me at the start, but you know what? We're kind of in it. We're okay. Oh. That would be confused too. And thanks, Fro. Like a mini barrier? Okay, sure, why not? Okay. Okay, if you say so. Up next is a Sensational, composed by Tenzubushi, who, as far as I'm aware, mostly does original songs outside of FNF, but composed songs for things like the Versus Tabby mod. That took me so long to actually read out correctly, holy crap. This one is much more cohesive than Whoopee, and because of that, it's also much more enjoyable to listen to. This song is also quite unique in that what you do will affect the end. If you attack Sans, you go into this awesome sequence at the end of the song reminiscent of the actual battles in Undertale. And if you don't, that won't happen. I would have preferred if there was something special that happened if you didn't attack Sans, like him teleporting you to a different area or something, but whatever. It's still really cool stuff. This will also change the final song in the week. Okay. I kind of mess with it.
Okay, okay. We're kind of in it. We're kind of actually in it right now. Ah, yes, of course. Every single fan depiction of Frisk slash Kara is just broken as fuck, obviously. Even though they're a child. Oh. 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 Ooh. Yeah, it's real awkward. Oh. Oh. Okay. Sure. Oh my! That was a little extreme. Okay. We're just gonna move off of that. What? What do you mean last time? Okay.
The song that plays when you don't attack Sans final stretch is, well, just that. No gimmicks, no dodging, no attacking, no nothing. It's just you and Sans playing it straight. I like this one a bit less than Burning in Hell, but it's still pretty great. With a wonderful scenery change with Sans teleporting you to Waterfall, and goddamn the colors here are just amazing here, holy shit. I honestly don't have anything else to say, it's just a great time. Burning in Hell, the song that plays after you attack Sans in Sensational, is much more intense than anything you've had beforehand. I gotta say, massive props to the Innuendo and Sasser for making such a killer song. It isn't my favorite, but it definitely fits the tone of the scene beforehand. And goddamn is this a difficulty spike. Not a huge spike, mind you, but the Gaster Blasters are deceptively tricky, and the orange and blue notes definitely tripped me up more than once. Luckily, since I'm a pro gamer, I beat the song on my very first try, but I wouldn't blame anyone if this gave them a bit of struggle. I'm still of the opinion that if you need gimmicks to make a song difficult, that's a little bit cheap, but at least the song is well charted, so that makes the gimmicks a bit less of a headache. Overall, a really fun time.
This ends up being any good. Okay, we got the respawn immediately. That's interesting. Jesus, it's bright. Whoa. Are we actually, like, fully animated? Okay. This is off to a great start already. Is it the cutout? Hmm. We'll rap against the cardboard cutout. Is it gonna actually move? Or is the joke that there's nothing there?
The first song, Imminent Demise, is honestly pretty alright. You don't even fight against anyone, you're just kind of vibing with this cardboard cutout for Bendy. It's a great tune, composed by Saru, who also composed Final Stretch, and CD Music, who actually composes the music of the Terraria Calamity mod nowadays. Small world. Anyway, the song is pretty great. Until Boyfriend knocks down the cutout and Bendy shows up, at which point the song and this week take a complete nosedive. Look, I'm sorry, but Bendy's voice is just not good, and I never really liked Bendy and the Ink Machine to begin with, and I got a little bit of gripes to say about his design. I think the designs of the other two characters are wonderfully expressive for who they are, and it's pretty great, but Bendy feels like he just doesn't belong. It's kind of hard to describe. I think the problem is that he's just too lanky. The style that FNF is makes it more so seem like he would be a bit bulkier, but that's just me. Thankfully, the song is nearly over, so let's just move.
Okay. Also, his animation seems super excellent.
Sheep, 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 it's time.
Oh.
My lord. What the? I see. There's only one way to put an end to this, but it's not gonna be pleasant. What the?
Okay. Is he just Big Angie? Is that all it is?
The next song, Terrible Sin, unfortunately, is just that. It's terrible. Composed once again by CD Music and an extra composer, Rosebud, who actually composed the music for the Tricky mod. And look, I know both of these composers are talented people. There's shining moments in this song that sound great, but a majority of it is just the schlock that you probably find at the bottom of a bacon soup can. And considering the Butcher Gang shows up for the final song, who I didn't really like in the actual Bendy game, I don't have high hopes for. All hail the Lord and Savior Joanne Atlas for making such an incredible banger and last reel. This was one of the first major projects he composed, if his channel is anything to go by, and goddamn he knocked it out of the park with this one. The guitar at the beginning and throughout the song is incredible. He somehow managed to make Bendy actually pleasant to listen to, and the song is actually charted really well. I really expected the Butcher Gang to be really annoying, and to be fair, they are, but they're much less obstructive than I expected, other than the moment Bendy drains you to 1 health towards the end, which is a bit odd, but I guess it adds some tension, and also for some reason you can't disable it when you remove gimmicks. This song is excellent, and catapults it up to probably one of my favorites in the whole mod.
Shit, sorry Bendy, I did not realize your game. That's my bad. The guitar at the beginning was so fucking good. Holy shit. Okay. Alright, what do we got now? Hope he's beginning. Oh, like the references to his ultimate. Okay. Alright. Fucking hit him with the falcon bee, I guess. Oh shit. The chase scene. Alright. I can't lie, this goes kinda hard. That goes kinda hard. Nightmare Run? Oh shit, let's do this.
Oh, all that gushing praise just to go back to a whole lot of mid with Nightmare Run. Composed by Orenji and Rosebud, this one is a lot better than Terrible Sin, but nowhere near the level of Last Reel. Bendy doesn't sound awful, but my biggest complaint is probably the instrumental. It doesn't sound bad, but it sounds pretty generic for a chase theme. I know that's kind of the whole point, but they probably could have just made it a bit more intense, and it probably wouldn't have taken away from anything. I promise you guys, I like this week and this mod, but this just was not it. Alright, well that's all the week's done, but thankfully that's not all we have to go over. First are the bonus songs, with Cuphead getting 1 extra song, Undertale getting 2, and Bendy also getting 2. First one being Satanic Funkin, where you rap against the devil from the Bible. The animation here is top-notch, and the slammer of a track coming out of the Innuendo's Giga Brain just cannot be underestimated. It's delightfully catchy while just being a hint menacing and also being pretty goofy in a way that only Cuphead Devil can really capture. The song even has its own gimmick with fire notes, and while they aren't super interesting, this is probably the place where it makes the most sense to have a mechanic like this. It's probably my favorite of the Cuphead songs. It's real great stuff. Next is Bad to the Bone, where you rap against Papyrus, composed by Yema Hardin, who mostly did Genesis font remixes before working on FNF mods. This song, while not super long, has probably my favorite gimmick of the entire mod with these orange notes. If you remember the yellow spears from Undertale, it's similar to those, where they switch which side of the track they're on. It isn't too obstructive, it isn't something you need to avoid hitting, and it makes perfect sense for it to be here. I would honestly call it a perfect gimmick. It's simple, easy to understand, fun to play around with, and since the song is decently short, it doesn't overstay its welcome. That's not even mentioning the song itself, which is also pretty delightfully catchy. I'm telling you, all these bonus songs are just are all hits. They're doing a really good job. Next is Boondoggle, where you rap against both Sans and Papyrus at the same time, and I do mean at the same time. Sasser did an excellent job in making sure Sans and Papyrus vocals mesh together in such a way that doesn't sound overly grating. And with a great instrumental to boot, this is probably one of my favorite Undertale songs. It's goofy, fun to play, and sounds excellent. What else do you really need?
Okay. Wait, that's so good.
It's time. We've all been waiting. But now the wait is over.
Next, a major tone shift comes in with Ritual with Sammy. This one is composed by BB Panzu, who made some of his own mods back in the day, and Brand XNS, who I'm pretty sure just makes FNF stuff. This song, no exaggeration, is my favorite to play. Listening wise, it's okay, it's pretty mellow and kinda creepy, but otherwise it's kinda mid. But the charting in this one is so good that I don't even care. I come back to it anyway. It's not as good as Last Reel, but it's pretty decently close. Sammy's voice not being as straining as Bendy's probably helps a lot, but otherwise it's very, very good. Finally, the last bonus song, Freaky Machine, is kind of a weird switch up. Composed by DA Games of all people and Saster. It's a remix of the song Build Our Machine and I'm pretty sure Gospel of Dismay. He uses the same Bendy style in the thumbnail, so that's just what I'll assume. This song is, it's okay. I'll give it credit where it's due. It's different enough where it doesn't just feel like they put Build Our Machine or Gospel of Dismay in the game, but it's still just kind of average. I think the main problem is that the F&F vocals don't really lend themselves well to conveying actual lyrics, or replacements for lyrics, as I should probably put it. Still, it's a fun time. Finally, we have the Nightmare songs, extremely difficult challenges unlocked after playing everything beforehand. All three of the main guys get a pretty cool redesign, but Bendy probably has to be my favorite. I have an obsession with fires, so I really mess with all of these designs.
Three, two, one, go!
The first song here, Devil's Gambit, is probably the best as an actual song. Composed by Saru and the Innuendo, it's got this dark magenta color scheme that's actually pretty easy on the eyes. This song is the easiest of the Nightmare songs, but that doesn't mean it won't give you trouble. Just because Elden Ring is the easiest FromSoft game does not mean it won't kick your ass. But it's also probably the most fun and my favorite. The gimmick from the main Cuphead weeks comes back, besides the green pellets, but that doesn't really matter. And besides the fire nodes being multiplied to 5 million, it's not that bad. Next is Bad Time, the Nightmare Sands track. Composed by Tenzabushi, this is a huge step in difficulty. And in my humble, 100% factual, definitely not wrong opinion, this is the hardest Nightmare song, by a long shot. The different colored dodges trip me up when my nerves are at their highest, and there's so many blue and orange bone notes that you can't afford to fuck up even once. This one took me the longest, but it definitely was the most satisfying to beat. If I do have one complaint, it's a little bit hard on the eyes, especially when the Judgment Hall lights up like a bright blue, but it wasn't as straining as the final one. Finally, the last Nightmare song is Despair, the Nightmare Bendy track, composed by the combined efforts of CD Music, Joanne Atlas, and Rosebud. This song, unfortunately, is the worst of the Nightmare songs, mostly because it doesn't feel like a song that belongs in a rhythm game. This is a Dark Souls boss theme. It's undeniably grand, epic, and in your face. Bendy, while looking cool here, is such an intense yellow that's such high contrast with a black background, and his movements were so fast and erratic that it actually started to hurt my eyes. And he sounds a lot better here than he does normally, but honestly my biggest problem is that the song doesn't do enough. It feels so grand and large that for there to only be one new gimmick is frankly disappointing. And I know Cuphead and Sans didn't get any crazy new gimmicks, but those weren't played as these epic finales that demanded attention. They were just difficult challenges that led to this. And Despair, while a good finale, just doesn't do enough. Before I finally stop talking, let's talk about the achievements that this mod adds. None of them are really super difficult besides a few, but we'll get to those. For the easier ones though, they're pretty basic. Lose to Sans and Papyrus, don't attack Sans versus attacking him, play a few secret songs, beat last reel without dodging, that sort of thing. But there's one of these easier achievements that I'm most annoyed about. There's 3 different achievements titled Unworthy 1, 2, and 3, each requiring you to fail at something. For Unworthy 1, you just have to hit 50 blue bone notes. This sounds tedious, but despite what the tutorial says, hitting these isn't an instant kill, so you'll probably just get this one by accident by playing Burning Hell or Bad Time. Unworthy 2 makes you hit 50 ink notes, and again, it's not that bad. There's so many of these in the Bendy week that you also might get this one on accident. But for the longest time, Unworthy 3 eluded me. I didn't want to look up how to get these achievements besides the secret songs because I was already spoiled on those. So I had no clue how to get these. My first thought was, well, Unworthy 1 is Undertale and Unworthy 2 is Bendy, maybe Unworthy 3 has something to do with Cuphead. So I tried attacking Cuphead when he wasn't attacking 50 times, didn't work. I tried hitting 50 fire notes, didn't work. I tried getting hit by Cuphead's big attack 50 times, nothing. I was stumped. So I looked it up, and apparently you have to just die on despair 50 times. First of all, none of the other Unworthy achievements required you to die. So how was I supposed to guess that? And second off, these achievements are meant to be gotten on accident by messing up. But I had beaten despair already, and I still hadn't gotten it. So I started dying. Quite a lot. You want to know how many times I had to die to get this achievement? 22. 22 goddamn times of loading up despair, hitting all the ink notes at the beginning, dying, and restarting. Now, I understand most people that play FNF are not hardcore rhythm gamers. This is very much a casual game. But I don't think any song in any rhythm game has taken me more than 50 attempts to beat. That's ridiculous. Besides that, and the 3 nightmare achievements, there's 3 more achievements that took me quite a while. And that's the 3 full combo achievements. For these, you have to full combo every single song on every single week. So simple, yet so stressful. Thankfully, you don't have to FC the whole week in one go. You can go into the free play menu and practice the songs individually. FC them, then move on to the next. This is what I did, and it won't have you tearing your hair out. Also, thankfully, you can turn off gimmicks and still get these achievements. The only one day I ended up doing this for was Nightmare Run, since the ink machine section kept tripping me up. Well, that was Indie Cross, probably the best FNF mod to ever exist. I don't think I was ever bored or miserable playing it. And I know I joked and was pretty harsh on some songs, but I want to be very clear that all the songs in this mod are better than any other FNF mod. And there's so much cut content from this mod that I kind of wish was here too. Like gimmicks for Nightmare songs, or a second bonus Cuphead song, older versions of songs, etc. If you want to play any FNF mod, play this one. Everybody who worked on it did such an amazing job, and honestly, it's worth a lot of people's time. Before I fully sign off here, I want to talk about kind of what this mod did to the whole Friday Night Funkin' scene, because it kind of messed everything up. Well, maybe not this mod specifically, but at least a couple mods in general, and this mod was kind of the final straw. So, beforehand, Friday Night Funkin' was extremely popular. Like, you could not go anywhere on YouTube, Twitter, anywhere without seeing it. And the mods were the catalyst for this huge boost in popularity. With the Witty mod coming first and showing people what this game was capable of, you had a bunch of talented people working on it. Some people built up their entire careers off of FNF mods. The biggest one that I can think of is Whoops, who I still watch to this day, who I first learned about when he first played Friday Night Funkin'. But nowadays, Friday Night Funkin' mods are kind of dead. Since more and more Friday Night Funkin' mods came out with little updates to the actual game, people started to alienate it. And after a while, the modders alienated it too. Even Whoops, who used to make a ton of Friday Night Funkin' content, doesn't do it anymore. And this one statement from his most recent video kind of says it all. And once Indie Cross came out, which I would say was the last good Friday Night Funkin' mod, the modding scene kind of died. Which is kind of a shame. I really wish some of these people would come back and work on more mods, but at the same time, I know they have other shit to do. And at this point, Friday Night Funkin' as a game and as a community is definitely more mellow now than when Indie Cross came out. At the same time, sometimes it can't help but wish for the good old days. Nah, I'm just kidding. The community was so toxic it was worse than a league lobby. If you need me, I'll be in the Rift playing an actual rhythm game. See ya, Jumps!